Sweet. I'm like literally the happiest person in the world right now because I'm very, very happy we finally got this to work out. I am really sorry for all the problems. It's funny because I tested it before I got in the studio, before I went on air, and everything was working, but I have no idea what happened there. But Matt, it is a pleasure to have you join us here on Radio Nation, and thank you for sticking with us through the problems.
Yes, sorry about that. Yeah, I got zoned out for a minute.
That's okay. There was a moment there where I was fixing everything where I wanted to just zone out because I had no idea what was happening. All right, Matt, so you are a singer-songwriter from Bradenton, Florida. Now, did I say that? Did I pronounce the city name right, or am I totally off?
No, you're completely on, actually. It's Bradenton.
Right on. And, Matt, how did you get your start into music?
My start into music? Oh, wow. Well, basically, there's this guy named... start from the beginning. My mom made me take like 10 years of piano lessons. Just kept pushing me at it and pushing me in music, and I finally said, I quit. I'm done with piano. And I switched over to guitar, and I started playing and started writing my own stuff. And my mom has this friend, used to be a client of hers, my mom's personal trainer. And he came over, and he's a singer, and he plays around town. He goes, who gets the lady? The guitar player or the singer? I'm like, I gotta start singing because, get the ladies. But after all that, I started writing, finally got into it, and he introduced me to this guy who owns a studio, and I thought, how cool would it be to have my own CD or EP one day? And then it just kind of took off from there.
I mean, did you start taking guitar lessons and singing lessons? Was that the next sort of thing that evolved for you after you sort of realized, hey, this sounds awesome?
Yeah, I did take about a year of singing lessons, and I quit guitar lessons. I took about 6 months of it, and I was like, I'm not really learning much, and I picked it all up from YouTube.
Was that hard? I mean, I can't really imagine just sort of picking it up off of YouTube and learning the guitar sort of just without getting lessons. I guess maybe that's because I'm not a musical person, but was it hard?
It really depended on the song I was playing, because they have a lot of different variations, and they really get in detail, some of the people on YouTube.
Now, what has been, I guess, then for you the biggest challenge throughout your career so far?
Biggest challenge? Well, right now, the guy we're working with in the studio is very busy all the time, so it's kind of taken us a long time to get the EP done, and that's probably the biggest challenge I have right now, that and getting a set list together.
When you're coming up with an EP, I mean, what sort of things, take me through the process of what it's like to put together an album from an artist's perspective. What sort of things do you have to do, and what sort of things do you need to include in an EP? Is there sort of a process that goes through with just building an EP?
Well, since I'm kind of new at it, I don't really know the entire process professionals go through. But what I would say is, basically, you get the tracks down first, like all the music, and no singing yet. Just get the guitars, get the drums, get the bass, get all the other instruments you want to have on board. And once you basically have all that on, you start the singing, and the singing probably takes the longest because you got to get perfect takes and do harmonies and go crazy. And it's a long, delicate process, but it's actually super fun.
Now, is it hard to find studio time in your area of Florida? Is that a challenge?
Actually, for me, not at all. The guy I was saying who told me about playing guitar and singing and stuff, Billy Rice, he told me to check out his friend Del Couch, and he has Foundation for Children Under the Age of 18, which I started this a few years ago, and where he lets us into his studio for free, and we get to record, and he helps us out through our career, and it's really awesome when he does. But he definitely I'll call him up, and whenever it's a good time for him, he'll let me in, and we go in there and we record.
Now, you're very, very fortunate because apparently that seems to be a challenge for a lot of people. Now, talk about your song "Desire." I've heard that song and I really do like it. What was your inspiration for coming up with that song?
Oh, desire. Basically, it is the chase for a female. You're trying to find the girl, and what you find her, you're trying to hold on to her and not let her float away.
What sort of artists and musicians really influence you as a musician?
Oh, man. Well, the first band I really started listening to was a band called The Maine. And back then, they were more of a pop group. And it was like guitar pop, alternative pop. And I started really listening to them, really liking it. So I learned a few of their songs. And after learning their songs, I started singing along. And then I entered a contest. And the contest was actually to play at the Florida State Strawberry Festival. And I won the contest out of, I think it was like 100 people who entered or something like that. I really don't remember. But they kind of like inspired me to keep writing and stuff. So it was probably The Maine. And recently I've probably been listening to a lot more poppy stuff. Like, I'm not going to lie to you, Bieber. But, I mean, he's pretty good. Like, his new album, I really like it.
Now, I'm going to be taking some questions off of Twitter for you as well. I guess going forward, you got the EP which is coming out soon. Do you have a? You said we talked off the air, but do you have a date in mind for the album?
I wish I did. I'm really hoping the end of February. There are no promises on that, but we are working really hard on it.
Is it something that will be released to iTunes, and will it be physical copies as well?
Well, it's a lot of stuff we have to talk about. We still have some things we have to do. What we were going to say is, what was I going to say? I'm trying to remember. Okay, yes, we are going to be on iTunes. Been talking to them. It's going to be through TuneCore, which is a bunch of different websites like Spotify and stuff like that. And along with those, it'll also be on. We'll have it in my state and my town on hard copies, and we're going to think about getting it to where we can distribute CDs, like ship them wherever someone wants to buy hard copies.
Very, very cool. Now, I guess like going forward here, and there's some great questions pouring in off of Twitter, so I'm going to get to those very, very soon. One thing we like to ask on Radio Nation is a bunch of sort of fun questions that have to do with your career. So one of those questions would be, where's one venue in the world that you'd love to perform at someday?
Oh, man. You know what? I'd personally love to play at Madison Square Garden. That would probably make my entire life right there. I'm not going to lie to you. Just like a full hundreds of thousands, or however many people sitting there. Just honestly, that's probably my dream right there.
Now, talk about social media and how it's, every artist seems he's got to have it these days. So how has it really helped you for your career, and what do you try to do on it to sort of separate yourself from every other musician that's on it?
Social media is actually a huge key for me. I basically started the fan base with all these wonderful girls all over Twitter, and I had some help from my buddy Ryan Smith. He's actually he's a vlogger, I guess. He does all the video blogs and stuff on YouTube, and he's really good at it. And I asked him about Twitter one day because I didn't know much about it. It was probably about 6 months ago. I was like, "What is Twitter? Like, what am I going to do on there different than Facebook?" He's like, "Just try it." And then he got me like a couple hundred followers in a few days. I was like, "Wow, this is crazy. Getting followers is pretty addicting. Like, more people want to find out. That's pretty cool." So I started like posting my music around, and it got out a little bit. And then the wonderful girls who are helping me out through the entire Twitterverse have been really, really like a great, I don't know how to say it. They've just been helping me out a lot, and they're promoting me on certain places, and they're sending my videos to everyone. And like, there was actually a Teen Hoop contest a few weeks ago, and they were promoting my video everywhere. I had to get a ton of likes on it from YouTube, and they really helped me out there.
Sorry, go ahead.
My bad. Basically, Twitter is like the only social network I use anymore Facebook I'm really shying away from.
Now, I was looking on your website, and it is in the works. Just out of curiosity, do you have an idea of when your site will be up and running? Because I went to it, and it was just led me to Facebook, which is totally fine. I'm just curious if you had any idea when you'd be working on the site or when it'd be up, or...
Yes, actually, my dad was the one who started working on that, and he, I really don't know. We have to talk about design and stuff, because basically we just wanted to get the domain down, so we had it, but we're just putting up a site maintenance to direct everybody. But we should have it up. I don't know, it really depends on time, because he's pretty busy, but I'm sure pretty soon, actually, maybe in a month or two.
Very cool. Now I'm going to pull some questions off of Twitter, and this question here comes from Venetian. It's a pretty relevant question because it is Valentine's Day coming up pretty soon, and so she wants to know what is your ideal date?
My ideal date? Huh. You know, I think taking girls. Let me reword that because that didn't sound good at all. I think I should take my Valentine's or dream date to like a picnic on the beach, because honestly I love the beach scene. I'm all around it here in Florida, and I think that just like a candlelit dinner right on the beach would be like the perfect date, in my opinion.
Now I just got to ask off the top, how warm is it where you are right now?
I think today it was 88.
It is below 32 here in Toronto, so I'm very jealous.
Yeah, that is horrible. Well, I mean, I love the cold. Ever since I was little, I love snow and stuff.
Well, there's lots of it here if you want to come visit.
You know what? Definitely, I will be there.
There's plenty more apparently on the way too, so feel free to come anytime in the next 2 weeks because we got lots of it coming. Got some more questions off of Twitter. This one comes from Rachel. She wants to know, and she's very specific here, where do you plan to be where do you plan to be with your career on the date of March 27th, 2016? March
27th, 2016?
Yeah, pretty specific.
Yeah, that was like to the dot. I really don't know. I can't really tell the future. I wish I could. Man, that'd be pretty awesome. But I guess as far as God wants to take me. Honestly, I'm in the music thing for the long run. And I guess it would just be amazing to already have an album and be a little more popular, like all over the radio and stuff. That'd be pretty cool.
I guess maybe to ask that question a better way, where do you sort of see yourself headed in the next year or two? I guess where do you hope to be? You obviously talked about continuing to do music and that sort of thing, and I guess where I'm going with that is because you're 18. I guess do you plan to go to post-secondary school, or are you in post-secondary school already?
No, I'm still in high school. I do want to go to a college though. Yes.
Would it be for something musically, or just any college for any other thing that you're interested in?
No, I don't think I would get a music degree. Personally, I never was a fan of music teachers whenever I was growing up because I was forced to play with them, music-wise. And I guess I would probably get a degree in business, so I'd learn a little bit more about the business side of music, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool as well. It's especially as a musician, I'm sure that's something that's really, really handy to know.
Yeah, definitely.
I guess going forward as well, because you're in the Florida area now. Is there a lot of opportunities in Bradenton to get out and play at shows, and are there a lot of venues down there that you can perform at?
There are a few. It's not really the biggest. There's a term we use for Bradenton, and it's not a bad term, I promise. But there's no offense to anybody in Kentucky, but they do kind of call Bradenton Bradentucky sometimes because it's kind of out there, and not many people are here. But I guess mainly the bands around here are playing bars or festivals, and I guess the festivals would be the best way to get out there. Like actually next weekend I'm playing, 2 weekends. I am playing at a festival at my school, actually.
That's perfect that you mentioned that because that leads me to one of the questions that I found on Twitter here, and want to make sure. Okay, here it is. This comes from Caitlin, and she wants to know if you would play at school. If you would play school shows.
I mean, sure, that'd be pretty cool. It'd probably help me get out there a little more too.
Is it harder to play outdoors or is it harder to play indoors?
It really depends on the lighting. I'm not gonna lie to you. If it's dark out, you don't see many people, and you don't have to envision them all naked or anything like that. No, I guess it probably at nighttime because you don't really have all the lights on you as much as you would during the day. Because the sun, you get hotter.
Fair enough. All right, there's another question. This comes from Venetia as well. She wants to know what your favorite flavor of ice cream is.
Favorite flavor of ice cream? Probably anything with cookie dough in it.
Ooh, good choice.
I'm a fan of cookie dough.
This comes from Christina, and she wants to know, would you ever date a fan?
Would I ever date a fan? Yeah, I guess so. Like, definitely. I'm not one that's going to discriminate against anybody for being a fan or anything.
Fair enough.
Girls are girls, and they're wonderful.
What is your favorite Disney movie?
Favorite Disney movie? Oh, man, you got me thinking years back now. 18 years old, I'm too old. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, man, I'm 23. They get funnier as you get older, though. That's the best part about them.
That is definitely true. I've noticed a lot more things.
Yep. There's some sexual innuendo in a lot of those movies that I didn't pick up when I was like 9.
The Little Mermaid. Let's not even get into that.
Yeah, that's totally off the air.
Yeah. My favorite Disney movie, probably have to be one of the newer ones. Like, I like all 3 of the Toy Stories. I'm not gonna lie.
Those are good movies. Those are really good.
Yeah.
I got a couple more questions here. I'm just going through them very, very quickly. Okay, so this comes from Michelle. She wants to know what do you think about your fans and just who's inspired you?
I think my fans are amazing and they mean the world to me. Honestly, my mom always yells at me for being on Twitter talking to them because she says I'm addicted to my phone, which I claim untrue, but I probably am.
Now, when you're in school, are you homeschooled or do you go to a regular school?
I go to a public school.
Now, is it very, very I never had Twitter when I was in high school. So how hard is it to stay focused when your phone's going off constantly, probably all day, people tweeting you?
Well, actually, the new Twitter update doesn't let any notifications come to my phone at all. But I don't really know. It used to be pretty bad because if I tweeted something, my phone would go crazy, and I wouldn't be able to use it because it would be way too slow.
Fair enough. I can see that.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not really supposed to be on my phone at school, so it's only like occasionally if we're not doing anything in class.
Fair enough. And I can see that. I don't even know. If I was in school, man, and Twitter was around, I probably would have gotten nothing done. I didn't get anything done anyway, but I would have gotten nothing done for sure.
That's what I'm saying.
Now,
I'm surprised I kept A's and B's.
Yeah, exactly. Thank God for that update where you can't get it out to your phone.
Yeah, for real. Well, I mean, I was kind of depressed because I'm not getting any notifications. I don't know if anyone's tweeting me anymore.
Now, this is a question off of Twitter, and I'm going to sort of modify it a little bit because there's quite a few people that are asking you if they want to be your if they could be your Valentine. But I'm going to ask you, do you have plans for Valentine's Day?
Do I have plans for Valentine's Day? Yeah, me and this wonderful, wonderful person called food. No, I'm just kidding. It's not a person. No, I really don't. I don't have a Valentine this year, and
is it something you're big?
Much.
Are you big into it, or is it something where you're just kind of like other guys? It's like, yeah, it's just a day.
I guess I wouldn't know because I don't think I've ever had a girlfriend on Valentine's Day, so I'm pretty big when it comes to holidays and stuff. I'd probably consider it a holiday and go all out.
Now, if you were to have a date on Valentine's Day, would you take them to the beach for that picnic, or would you do something different?
it probably depends on the weather. But if the weather is perfect, then yeah, the beach would be pretty cool. That whole date scene right there that I said earlier would be pretty much spot on, except with a huge teddy bear and some chocolate.
Ooh, good. Very good. Now this comes from Jordan. This comes from Jordan. She wants to know what's the craziest Snapchat you've ever gotten? And do you have Snapchat? I guess I should probably first ask you.
Yes, I do have Snapchat. I Snapchat my fans all the time, or at least I try to. They always reply to me, and I get too many back. But
now, what's the craziest one you've ever gotten? And this is a question from Jordan.
Probably the craziest one I've gotten back. It's probably my friend at school. Like, he sends me the weirdest stuff from Snapchat.
Now,
I don't know. He'll probably draw crazy things on top of different people.
Explain to me how Snapchat works, because I'm not going to lie, I just sort of looked into it the other day. How if somebody's out there that's listening has no idea what Snapchat is, can you try to explain it to them, or what do you do with Snapchat?
Basically, it's simplifying picture sending through text messages, except it's like 10 times faster.
Now, do you get to, because I was reading somewhere you don't get to keep the message, you only see it for a few seconds? Is that how that works, or am I thinking of something totally different?
No, you're on the right track. It's actually you can go from the sender actually chooses how many seconds they want. You go from 1 second to 10, I believe, and you hold it down, and it shows the picture for that long. But if you're sneaky like me and it's a picture you want to use as blackmail or something, you can screenshot it.
That's pretty funny, actually. This comes from Christy, and she wants to know where you'd love to travel.
Oh my gosh, I honestly would like to travel the entire world. Personally, I think Paris or France. Paris, France. What am I saying?
No.
I think it'd be pretty cool to go there.
Very cool. Sorry if I cut you off. It's probably just a bit of a delay, like, here into my headset. So it's not that I'm trying to cut you off on purpose. It's just might be a bit of a delay. So it's totally my apologies if it sounds like I'm being rude or anything.
No, don't worry about it. I'd interrupt you too.
It's all good. Now, this comes from Sarah. She wants to know, what is your favorite song at the moment?
Oh my gosh, I get this one all the time. I'm not gonna lie, it's probably... Look at the title real quick. I have two, and one's a serious song, and one is a hilarious song. Have you seen the new videos that are all over YouTube called the Harlem Shake?
Yeah, I just saw it today for the first time.
Yeah, I'm actually getting a bunch of people together to make a Harlem Shake video at Publix, which is a supermarket.
That is awesome. That is so cool. When you do, send me the video. That sounds so cool.
I definitely will. I don't think Publix is going to be too happy about it, but...
Hey, hopefully it goes viral. I saw one they did at a school here in Ontario, and it's got like 500,000 views, and it's been up for a day. That's crazy.
That's what I'm saying. It'd be pretty cool.
Very, very cool.
But, no, that's just like, I love to dance like crazy to that song. My first song, though, is, right now I'm working on a new cover, and it's probably my favorite song. It's by Justin Bieber. It's off his new, Believe acoustic, and it's called Nothing Like Us.
Very cool. Now, do you think Justin should have been at the Grammys this year?
I think he should have released Believe Acoustic before the nominations, because he probably would have been. But personally, I don't care too much if he was there or not. I mean, I just like the show.
Fair enough. This comes from Kristen as well. She wants to know if you're doing a Ustream this weekend.
Definitely. I will definitely do one.
And on top of that, now there's another question here, and I saw it. I don't remember who it's from because these are coming in like crazy. But do you? I guess you do. This fan's alluding that you do contests, a monthly contest. What is the contest that this person wants to know? What the contest is for February?
Actually, this is the first time I'm ever doing, not ever doing, but like the first time I've ever done a contest. I made a new video the other day. Basically, I couldn't really think of anything super creative for them to do, which, I mean, it's still, I was thinking more along the touchy side, or, I don't know. But basically I wanted them to send a a paragraph or an essay, or not an essay, because it just sounds like school. I don't know, just like a reason why they think they should win the prizes. And I have 3, I believe it's 3, it might be 5, no, I think it's 3. I have 3 guitar picks with me on it, and my name on the opposite side. And then I was going to send like 3 poster-like pictures with autographs, and lastly a handwritten note saying thank you for everything, and I really appreciate you, and stuff like that.
Very, very cool. Now, will you be running this contest very, very soon, or is it running right now?
It is actually running right now, so go ahead, go enter.
Very, very cool. Now, for people that are listening that don't that have never perhaps heard you before, how do they find you on social media?
You know what? I've never actually just typed in my name on Twitter or Facebook. So I think if you Google my name, my YouTube comes up. I'm not sure. But if you type in my name on YouTube, I definitely come up. So that'd probably be the easiest way.
What do you prefer more? Do you prefer YouTube or Facebook or Twitter?
One more time?
Sorry, do you prefer YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter more? Like, what's your favorite one to use?
Well, they all have different purposes to me. Personally, I use Twitter every single day, and YouTube's the best for my videos.
This is a pretty good question. This comes from Brienne, and I like this one. If you ever got a chance to hang out with a fan for a day, what would you do?
What would I do for a day? You know what? I don't know. But I know it would be super exciting and probably along the lines of indoor skydiving.
Indoor skydiving. That sounds awesome.
It was really fun. I went there for my birthday last year.
Now, I've actually only heard of that once before. So how does that work for someone that has no idea what indoor skydiving is?
It's actually a huge fan indoors, and you have to wear earplugs, and you wear the entire suit like you're going skydiving. You got the glasses, or the goggles on, and the helmet and everything. And you jump in there, and the guide flings you around in circles and stuff, and teaches you how to like stay right there. Pretty cool.
That does sound cool. If we talked about it earlier, that you said you'd love to perform at Madison Square Garden. Do you have any plans in sort of the, maybe not immediate future, but in the near distant future, where you'd like to get out on tour or get out on the road and perform somewhere?
I would actually love to. There was brief talk about me going for I think like a Florida tour, like to a couple Best Buys, because I think my album will actually be in Best Buy. I think I was going to do like 3 Best Buy go around promoting my album thing. But there was actually a few contests I entered, like for instance Teen Hoot, which is in Nashville, Tennessee, and I would have got to play with a bunch of really awesome YouTube singers and stars.
If speaking of YouTube stars, and Teen Hoot was last Saturday, which is pretty cool. Is there any teen star YouTube stars, that you'd love to sort of meet and get a chance to talk to?
Actually, I watched as Austin Mahone got famous. I started with like his old videos and stuff, and I had no clue he was going to get to where he was today. I think it'd be pretty cool to hang out with him. Yeah,
it would be pretty cool to hang out with him, and he's been through a lot, sort of personally. So pretty cool to see him grow. I've had a chance to follow him as well. It's pretty cool. I guess to tell the audience something about yourself that people don't generally know about you.
Don't generally know about me. I think my fans might know this, but I love to longboard. I don't think anyone knows that I have a boat and I go wake skating.
Now, sorry, go on.
Wake skating. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to ask you what wake skating is. I have no idea what that is. That sounds cool, though.
Yeah, actually, a lot of people tell me that. They've never heard about it. I'm really surprised, actually. But it's basically, do you know what wakeboarding is?
Yep.
All right, well, it's basically wakeboarding, except a smaller board with no bindings. So you're basically wearing skateboard shoes. It's got grip tape over the board, and you're riding basically a skateboard behind a boat doing skateboard tricks.
That sounds like a lot of fun. That sounds hard, though.
Yeah, actually, everyone's like, how do you get up? You're just going to fall forwards.
Yeah,
I
I can see that.
It kind of explains everything to you once you get in the water with it.
This is a question off of Twitter, but I'm going to modify it because it's sort of something we already asked. But you mentioned that you're trying to get into contests to go, and I believe Teen Hoot does another thing in the summer as well. Is that something that you're trying to get into?
I would love to get into that one. I'm honestly going to email them probably twice. I was going to say like 200, but that'd be like spamming.
Better than two. Email them every month.
Yeah, probably two.
Yeah, exactly. Who is your favorite member of One Direction? That's off of Twitter.
Lord. I don't really follow up with the band too much. I know they're all great singers, and I would probably say Zayn if I had to say anything. I don't know. I've been told I look like Niall.
You know what? Do you? And I only asked this out of curiosity. Like, I didn't know that I thought his name was Nail at first. I feel really bad saying that because I really didn't know how you pronounce his name. So
Nail.
yeah, I just like
funny.
I probably said that on air so many times, and then someone said to me, "It's Niall," and I'm going, "Oh, like I guess kind of a dyslexic there." Like I did no idea. What is your favorite cover that you've ever done?
Favorite cover that I've ever done? It's actually a new one that I put up recently. Not too recent, but a while ago I put up a cover of Wanted by Hunter Hayes. And that song is just like really meaningful, and I really love the song.
It is a good song. What did you think about his performance at Grammys?
I thought he should have won something. Wait, did he, or did I fall asleep?
No, he didn't. He didn't win anything. As far as he didn't win anything. No.
Yeah, I know. I thought he should have won at least. What was he nominated for? Like Song of the Year, I believe. I have no clue. I wasn't more focused on the singers, but he is a singer. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. I think he should have won something. Him and Ed Sheeran both. Those are probably my two favorites right now. Him and Bieber.
I believe he won. He was nominated for Best New Artist of the Year. That's what I believe he was nominated for. Not entirely sure, and I have to check back on that. But I think that's what it was, and I could be wrong though. I could be totally wrong. It's either that or country artist or something like that. But I thought it was Best New Artist. But anyway, just gonna get through a couple more quick questions here, and then we're gonna let you get going because I'm sure our phone bills are probably gonna be a little high. And I know it will be for me, but I don't know what long distance rates are like in Florida, but I know in Canada they're brutal. I guess if you have a cover, when you're picking a cover and when you decide to cover a song, what sort of songs do you look for?
Well, recently I've been doing that a little bit differently. I go to Billboard.com and I look for the songs that are making the biggest jump and that I haven't heard before. And I'll look and see if it's in my vocal range or if I can modify it at all. And I'll try and be one of the first people to put it out there. But because I watched. There's a guy named Tyler Ward on YouTube, and that's basically how he does all his videos. He gets them before anyone else does and gets the most views. And I'm like, I'm not all about the views, but I mean, it'd be pretty nice to have those many views. I mean, come on.
Yeah, who wouldn't? I guess then, do you have any plans to cover? Do you know what song you'd like to cover next?
Actually, I am working on that Justin Bieber song called "Nothing Like Us."
Very, very cool. And I believe I probably did ask you that before, and I guess if people are out there that are listening to you and they're just tuning in, you are listening to Matt Walden live. We're on a bit of a delay, as opposed to we were supposed to start at 9. Probably started around 9:15, and I apologize again, Matt, for all the crazy problems. First time that's happened in a long time. I'm not gonna lie. Usually we get off pretty smoothly, but. Anyway, we're on the air with you, and this comes from Jordan Gray. What's your favorite country? And I'll ask you this sort of modified, but what's your favorite country besides America if you've ever been to another country?
Oh, favorite country? Well, if I had to choose of the countries that I've ever been to, I'd probably say the Bahamas, because that's probably the only other country I've ever been to.
Very now. Did you just go down there for vacation?
Yes, actually. It was a cruise. My parents surprised me. Been there a couple times.
What is your favorite part about the Bahamas?
The water. The water is just amazing. How it's like blue, and I mean I know all water's blue. Not really here in Bradenton though. It's kind of multicolored.
Yeah. What is your?
It's just
sorry.
through, and you can see all the animals and stuff. It's just it's beautiful and amazing.
Did you get to go like scuba diving and all that stuff too?
I'm actually scared to go under. Like not too scared, but I mean like going that far underwater. I've seen too many movies to want to do that. But I've been snorkeling.
That is pretty cool. I'm a little jealous, I'm not going to lie. What is your favorite food?
Favorite food?
This comes from Jordan from Whitesburg, Tennessee.
Well, if we're talking snacks, animal crackers for the win.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yep, animal crackers are by far the best. And if we're talking food, I'm probably going to go mainstream, and say pizza. But I mean, who doesn't like pizza?
Very true, very true. What do you think of the Walden girls? And I'm assuming that's I know what that is, but I mean, what do you think of them, and how supportive have they been for you in your career?
What do I think of the Walden girls? I think it's pretty amazing. There are actually a few people who started out first. They were the first, like, they were back with me when I had, like, I think 200, 300 followers. And there's a bunch of other people who are also, but they decided to make a group, and they've honestly been promoting me like crazy and helping me in every which way. And honestly, it's just amazing. I love how all these people are helping me out, and I wish I could meet every single one of them. I truly do.
Gonna get down to the wire here. Just gonna do like one or two more quick questions here off of Twitter, and there's still a couple more coming here. So this one comes from Kristen, and she wants to know why you are so obsessed with chocolate milk.
Why am I so obsessed? Well, it all started out in school. I want to give this a story. This is a story. Wow. Back about 3 months ago, after weightlifting, I would always drink chocolate milk because of the protein. And then I just kind of got addicted to it. And now I love chocolate milk, and it is the best thing ever.
Is there a, like, do you use, like, Nesquik, or do you just buy the ones from the vending machine or whatever?
Well, at school, they have, I don't know what it's called, but it's got, like, the picture of the cow on it, which, I mean, probably a lot of them have pictures of cows on them, too, with milk, but I don't know, they just kind of give it to us at school, and I kind of take my friends and just drink it.
Fair enough. Yeah, I don't know how many brands of milk have cows in them, but I'm sure a lot of them do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't know. I've never really looked at a brand of milk. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure I know one. Like when I go to the market, but like I've never really noticed a brand of milk.
One I can think of is T.G. Lee. I don't drink that kind of milk, but that's the only one I can really think of. It's got a cow on it.
Do you drink other kinds of milk besides just chocolate milk? Like, do you just drink normal milk as well?
Yes. No, I drink everything, every kind of milk. Getting into the milk, that's fine. But yeah, I drink milk all the time.
If there was one artist that you could perform with, who would it be and why?
Who would it be and why? Hands down, Ed Sheeran. Why? Because number one, he's a ginger and he has a soul. not saying the other ones don't, but I don't know. He's just super talented. When I bought his album, I loved every single song on it, and not very often do I like every single song on someone's album.
That's a good answer, and he's a terrific young man.
Yeah, definitely.
Just gonna see if I can get a couple more questions off of here on Twitter because there's a lot coming in, and because we were delayed, I feel a little bad just kind of cutting you off here. So I'm gonna try to go through a couple more here. I guess talk to me about what's it like growing up in Florida and where you are in Florida, and what sort of things you like to do in your free time when you're not doing music.
What do I like to do in my free time? I'm not doing music. Probably just hanging out with friends, and I do go longboarding a lot. We go to downtown and we go to parking garages and go from the top all the way down, run up the stairs, go from the top all the way down. Kind of a pattern, but fun.
If we talked about it earlier, if you could perform anywhere, you mentioned Madison Square Gardens, which is obviously a great choice, and you mentioned Ed Sheeran as someone you'd love to perform with. If you could, if you could collaborate or do a song with anybody, as aside from performing, if you could work with sort of one YouTube artist besides maybe Austin Mahone, who would it be, and why?
Are we talking old YouTube artists or the new ones that are going on right now?
Really, whatever you feel.
I gotcha. I don't know. There's a bunch of amazing artists out there right now. I think it'd be pretty cool to do a song with P. Sanders. Like, me play guitar and sing while he raps. That'd be pretty awesome.
Now, people are asking me to call you Potato. And is there a story behind that?
I never really understood the whole potato thing. One day Potato came up, and then I called someone a potato, and then they called me a potato, and now everyone calls me a potato, and we call each other potatoes. And I don't know if that's meaning like I'm lazy or something, or it's just a name, but, I'm kind of confused whenever I get it.
Yeah, because there's a few people that have asked on Twitter, and they've said it's not offensive or anything, so...
No, definitely not. I guess
I was a little hesitant because somebody asked
like
it earlier.
Meaning, like maybe we're all potatoes on the inside or something. I don't know.
What would that mean, though? Like, that sounds awesome, but it's just like, would that be is that like a fan group name now? Like, we're all potatoes?
Oh, no, actually, they call themselves While Chillin'.
Very cool. That's a cool name. I really like that.
Yeah, it's pretty creative. I don't really remember how we got it all started, but I think it was similar to the Mahomies for Austin Mahone.
That's very cool. Are you big into sports?
It varies. Like during the seasons I am. Off, not really. I guess that's kind of how sports goes anyways.
The only reason I ask is because spring training has started for baseball, and I don't know if they do much spring training or much baseball sort of goes on in Bradenton, but just wanted to see if you are a baseball fan.
Yes, actually, I was for a while, but kind of started doing music a lot more. I'm a Tampa Bay Devil Rays fan because they're right down the road from us.
Are you happy with their performance last season?
One more time?
Were you happy with their performance last season?
It wasn't as good as a few years ago, but I don't know. We don't exactly have the same charisma anymore. If you feel me.
Yeah. No. You know what? We could talk all day about baseball in this program, but yeah, I totally understand what you mean. Final question, because it's so random and funny, and I'm trying hard not to laugh here, but what is your opinion on chicken nuggets? And that comes from Kristen. That's an awesome random question.
That is a really good question, and I love spicy chicken nuggets from Wendy's. I know that's not chicken nuggets, but spicy. Anything spicy is good. They're up there with pizza. You know what? I'm not going to lie to you. That and Taco Bell. Taco Bell is my favorite place to go ever.
And because this person got in the question very last, and because this is a Canadian program, I feel like I must ask it. Are you a hockey fan? And if so, who is your favorite team? And this comes from Venetia.
That's funny. I will watch hockey. I understand bits and pieces of it. I love the fights. And my friends in town play hockey all the time. I don't know. I'm not as into it as I should be, but I do like the Tampa Bay. The Lightning.
Yep, that's the one. Very cool. Now they won the cup not about 2004. Were you a fan of them then?
I followed them a little bit more then, but I wasn't. I don't know. I've never really been too into hockey.
I guess as a Canadian, just very, very, very quickly here, and curious, is hockey? Do you know much? Do you hear much about hockey? Is it just like, oh, it's that weird sport, or is it something that do you see it in the papers? Is it out there, or is it just like, oh yeah, there's that hockey team?
No, actually, we hear about hockey a lot because we're right next to Tampa. They're constantly talking about it when it is in season, or when it's not. Sometimes there's some scandal or something. I have no clue. But I understand bits and pieces of it. It's not like curling or lacrosse where I don't understand much about those. I know lacrosse is kind of similar, but curling's just way out of the park. I don't understand why they would do that.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, anything else you want to add before I let you go tonight?
One more time? Did you say what I want to ask?
Yeah, if there's anything else you want to add to this interview before I let you go.
Oh, what I want to add is I love all of my fans so much, and I love everyone who's listening right now. My family, my friends, my friend, my uncle, Jason Poe is listening right now, and big shout out to him. He's pretty cool. And I think my dad is listening too, which is pretty awesome, James Walden. And Nick, I just want to thank you very much for letting me be on the show, and it means a lot.
Well, thank you for coming on, and I personally like to apologize for the technical problems. That was something that hasn't happened for a long time, and that I literally felt like I was back in the very first time I'd ever come to the studio where everything went wrong. So I'm very happy we were able to get this interview up and going, and it was nice and long for your fans that had to wait the extra 50 minutes or so to get to hear you. So thank you very much for coming on. We'll be playing your song, Desire. When your EP is done and ready, please let us know, and we'd love to play any song off of it and give it some airtime.
Definitely. I will let you know as soon as it's out.
All right. Thanks a lot, Matt, and take care. And enjoy the weather down in Florida. I'm very jealous of you.
And I am jealous of you in a weird way, but yeah.
Well, there's lots of snow here. You're welcome anytime.